What's going on with your YouTube? It's your man King Howie, Cage TV, back with another video. Shout out to all of the Pack addicts, Packer Nation. Um, this is a channel where we discuss the greatest team in NFL history, sports history, the Green Bay Packers. Let's get into the shit. Okay, the Lions pick up former wide receiver for the Green Bay Packers, Geronimo Allison, and he's been with us for about, I want to say 4 years. About 4 years. Actively playing for about 4 years. And you could probably say his best season was his last season with us last year. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns. He had about 34 receptions, which was like a career high for him. 287 yards receiving. He averaged about 8.4 yards a catch. And we let him go. And we had to. We thought he was supposed to be the number 2 guy to Devante Adams. And it's funny. You know, Geronimo Allison played, I think, 12 or 13 games last year. And he just couldn't cut it, man. I don't understand why. And another thing too, why does I know they in our division and we gotta play this team twice a year, but why do we keep making these trades with the Detroit Lions? A team that ain't about winning shit. Aren't they on lockdown aren't they quarantined? But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he's over there now. He's with the Detroit Lions. So, Geronimo Allison, good luck to you and your wife and your newborn kid. Thank you for some of your great memories that you captivated us with on the field. And now we're moving on. Let's talk about MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I'm hearing trade rumors about this guy. Some people may consider his last season to be a letdown year. I mean, we all heard the rumblings and the rumors last offseason with him working out with Randy Moss, and people were, oh man, this should be it right here. You know, he learned it from one of the Hall of Fame receivers, one of the greatest receivers in NFL history. He should be, you know, taking it to the next level. And I mean, as far as, I don't know about everybody else, but me, I thought Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Equanimeous St. Brown would be great additions to this team. But when it comes to the Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay offense, you know, all of their offenses are predicated around the running back and a stud receiver. If you look at the Rams, they got a good running back, they got a good stud receiver, and they got a good tight end. You look at the 49ers with Kyle Shanahan, they got a couple of good running backs, a good tight end, you know, and they got a stud receiver who was, you can either say Deebo Samuel or Emmanuel Sanders. You come to the Packers, you have a good running back, hell of a running back. I don't know what we doing at tight end, and we got a stud receiver, and we're looking for a number 2. And Marquez Valdez-Scantling and, you know, Equanimeous St. Brown had an injury, kind of took him out for the rest of the season. And you know, he had that big catch on a blown play, or a penalty play, free play. Aaron Rodgers hoists the ball down the field to him against the Broncos, and he scores a touchdown, and he does his dance, and you just think, oh my gosh, he's arrived. This season is about to be on fire for him. And then it just slowly takes a dive, super steep dive. And you kind of look back at the season like, damn, where did we go wrong? And I think a lot of it had to do with bringing in a new coach, learning a new offense, trying to figure out where you fit in the offense. This is your second year in the league. You just got done having a rough first year with the whole Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy bullshit that kind of, we don't know how it might have played on his psyche. But, you know, at the end of that year when McCarthy got fired, Marquez Valdes-Scantling held his head up high. Aaron Jones held his head up high. You know, they had a great attitude exiting out of the season in their postseason press conference statements. And you hear about the working out with Randy Moss that offseason, and you thinking to yourself, like, man, this is what we want. This is what we want to see. This is what we have. This is what we want to see out of our young receiving core to take this game serious, because like I said before in previous videos, when Aaron Rodgers signed that contract, he don't got time to fuck around. He don't. Aaron Rodgers has been giving us hints about that since he signed that $134 million contract. I don't got time to fuck around. If you're going to fuck around with his time on the field, he's not going to throw you the ball. And I think that's what happened with Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Too many drop passes, not getting open, not making the right adjustments. You know, his route running was kind of shaky at times. He was letting DBs just, you know, push him around. It was just a lot of shit I seen when I watched the games. You know, watch some of the highlights and shit. Just when I specifically looked at him, you know, it's just like, damn, come on, bro. You was working out with Randy Moss. So I'm hearing trade rumors. I don't know to what team. I did hear that the Patriots were interested in getting Geronimo Allison, but it didn't go through. So who knows what's going to happen or what the Packers are intending to do with Marquez Valdes-Scantling, knowing that we got Devin Funches on the team, and adding him, you know, you would think that would add depth, but maybe he's being picked up to take a spot. We just seen Geronimo Allison not be re-signed, and plus the Packers, shout out to Pac-Man Jake, they have a lot of unrestricted free agents and that they have to try to figure out who they want to bring back. This is going to be, the Packers are going to have to pick carefully of who they want to re-sign or return to this team, because the money ain't there. The money is just not there, especially with the new CBA agreement, with, you know, the Packers having to pay so much money to bring players and let players go. It's just, the CBA is kind of biting the owners and franchises in the ass too. Not only the players, but the owners got to pay money too. So it's real critical that the Green Bay Packers really analyze and figure this thing out piece by piece, step by step, the free agents they want to bring back and let go. But Marquez Valdes-Scantling, I'm hoping he has a turnaround year, a big year 3 coming up. Hope he's, you know, staying quarantined and doing his workouts, however he's doing them. I just hope he's staying on top of his game. Now, we know the stud wide receiver of the team is Devante Adams, who has recently stepped down from being endorsed by Nike. He is now endorsed by the Jordan brand. Like he said, Nike wasn't paying like he want to be paid. And you got to think about it. This guy went down with turf toe and missed like 4 games and still almost had a 1,000-yard year, receiving year. That is just remarkable from a talented receiver like Devante Adams, who is in my top 5. I mean, a lot of people don't think of Devante Adams as being like the Julio Jones or the Antonio Browns or who's some other big time receivers out there, the Brandon Cooks or the Michael Thomases, you know. But Devante Adams is a beast. You got dudes out there taking his moves and using them in the Super Bowl to win Super Bowls. So that lets you know right there that this man is the best receiver in the NFC North. I'm not going to say in the NFL, but to me, he is the best receiver in the NFC North, in the division. And when his contract come up, I think he got what? We could probably tag him, but I think Devante Adams got like a year or two left on his contract, and he going to be asking for about $100-something million. So let's just slow down on that. The reason why I'm talking about Devante Adams is because he needs help. We need somebody who can stretch the field. We thought Trevor Davis was going to be that guy. He never showed up. We brought back Tyler Irvin, so maybe he might be that speedster we might need to stretch the field. I mean, we seen MVS do it. We seen Equanimeous St. Brown do it. It's just the consistency is just not there. And our most consistent receiver is Devante Adams. I wish we would have went after Robbie Anderson, man. That's just. But who knows how he might have panned out? Who knows what he would have done in the Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay offense? You know, but he can stretch the field. That is one of his strongest traits on the field, is going for that deep ball and catching it. And you know, Devante Adams, to me, he's the hardest receiver to tackle in open field. You get Devante Adams in open field, you seen what he did to the Seattle Seahawks in the playoffs. That was an amazing move right there. That was just an amazing move. And then what about the game winner he had against the Cleveland Browns, the game winner he had against the Cowboys? Like, this dude is just a phenomenal receiver to have. And the Packers have to get him some help. We cannot be going into games where Devante Adams is being double teamed every time. We got to get him and Aaron Rodgers on the same page, and we need that one-on-one matchup. You know what I mean? So if we could grab a stud in the draft, I don't think the Packers are necessarily going to go with picking a receiver in the first round. I think they should go defense. That's just my opinion. And then if one of those stud receivers drop down in the second or third, then they could grab them there. But it's going, like they say, like these mock draft analysts say, this draft is loaded with receivers. If you look down the top 100, you'd be like, top 100 college football players in 2019. You're like, yeah, that's college. When you come into the NFL, they're going against a defensive back that's making about $15-16 million a year. They're playing against Jalen Ramsey. Come on now. Come on. Now, everybody ain't going to come in the league and be a DK Metcalf. You know, there are some guys that are just exceptions to the rule where you're just like, oh, you just can't beat that. You know, like a Megatron or a Randy Moss or a Terrell Owens. Those dudes just got it like that. So we need to get Devante Adams some help on the outside. Devante Adams can. Now, the smart thing Matt LaFleur did was motion Devante Adams a lot more last season than Mike McCarthy ever did. You know what I mean? But that's because we had Randall Cobb and Jordy Nelson. You know, we was stacked at the receiving position. You know, we didn't need no help there. But now that things have changed and we're walking into this new decade, 2020, we got to go get some people that can catch the damn football besides Devante Adams. And it all comes down to this guy right here. It all comes down to this man, Aaron Rodgers. Why do I say that? Because he don't got time to fuck around. He just don't. He just don't. And he has to trust you. He has to be he has to have the mindset of walking out of that huddle, looking left, looking right, and thinking to himself, I could trust these guys on 3rd and 8. I could trust this receiver. I could trust my tight end. I could trust my running back out of the backfield on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12. We sucked on third down. For the last 2 seasons, we've been trash on third down. Trash, below average. And that shit irks me the most, is seeing my team get out there on the field and go 3 and out. Whether we not running the ball aggressive enough on 3rd and 2, or Aaron Rodgers throwing an inaccurate pass in the dirt, or a receiver just plain dropping the damn football, or Aaron Rodgers getting sacked, or he got to dance around and throw it out of bounds. That's been our third downs for the last 2 seasons. So in order for this whole thing to work for the Green Bay Packers to potentially get back to a Super Bowl and win, is that this man has to trust everybody that he's throwing the football to. That's what it all boils down to. Well, Aaron Rodgers has been in the news recently. He was on the Pat McAfee show. For those of you who watched it, I really don't watch it. I just caught it on YouTube live. It was like, oh, you talking to Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers talked about the CBA agreement and how he was on the board of the NFLPA and he just felt like the NFLPA just wasn't on the side of the players. And like I said before, DeMaurice Smith has stepped down from being the president of the NFLPA. It's some new dude, some former Bengals player. He's young. And Aaron Rodgers said when they were on the way to the offices of to meet with the NFL reps, they said about time him and Richard Sherman walked into the meeting, the new deal for the CBA was already done by a couple of new players or young players they had added to the NFLPA players, representative of players. And it was them sitting there with the new president, and they had the deal done. He said when he walked in, the NFL only had one lawyer with him. It wasn't the 3 or 4 or 5 lawyers that they usually have with them. They only had one. And he said him and Richard Sherman really had no say. But he is now asking that all of the people that have voted to publicize their vote, because he wants to see who voted yes for the CBA. I don't know how he's going to get that done, but that's what he's petitioning for. He also stated that he was in Peru for about 2 days before the Pentagon called him and told him to get up out of there due to the coronavirus outbreak. And he's home safe, so Packer fans don't have to worry about that. This was like early February, I think, like maybe a week or 2 after the Super Bowl when he went out there. But we have to get some guys around this guy to trust. Because if he can't trust the players that he's rocking with, it's just going to be another long season. And I understand you have to build a rapport with the quarterback and wide receiver relationship like he did with Alan Lazard. And we've seen that if Aaron Rodgers can engage like that with all the receivers, which I'm pretty sure he does. But mainly it's up to them. It's all about the mindset. It's up to them to want to go out there and trust their quarterback. If he's going to trust you, you got to trust him. It's a two-way street. And hopefully both parties is driving down the same way. They're driving in the same direction. So with that being said, man, this is the end of this video. This is just an update of, Geronimo Allison going to the Detroit Lions and Marquez Valdes-Scantling in trade rumors. Devante Adams now being endorsed by the Jordan brand, and Aaron Rodgers. Gotta trust motherfuckers. And hopefully, he did say he plans to play for longer than what he expected. So I'll probably, after Tom Brady and Drew Brees got $50 million for 2 years, hey, the wheels are turning in Aaron Rodgers' head right now too. Like, damn, y'all got $50 million to play for 2 years? Shit. I think I can hang around for another 6 or 7. So I'm expecting Aaron Rodgers to stick around for as long as he possibly can now. I don't see this dude retiring 3 or 4 years from now. And I think the Green Bay Packers, after, he got 3 more years left on his contract, or 4 years left. I think they'll probably sign another 3-year deal with Aaron Rodgers. He'll probably sign a 3-year deal, then probably a 2-year deal, and then that'll be it. So we possibly could see Aaron Rodgers for 2 decades. So with that being said, man, it's your man, King Howie. Shout out to all the Pack addicts. Go Pack, go. I'm out.